wig lover, this is Heather from CysterWigs.com, and today I'm bringing you a review of the Wiki wig by Wille in the color Caramel Rooted. Now, I have a client named Amy who is on her Instagram, and she does like a really great job of showcasing this piece. She looks really super cute in it. And I was like, you know, she can pull this off. Maybe I can pull this off. And I feel a bit like I stuck a fork in a light socket. just a little bit. I feel a bit like I'm channeling my inner Carol Kane at the moment. Like it's gonna take a moment for me, I think, to adjust to this piece. Now, I will say it looks an awful lot like the product photos. It has, you know, what I like to say, a lot of personality. It's a great length. It's got an interesting texture. It's like a caramel flavored cloud, just kind of hovering around here. Like I'm not real sure what to think of it. So instead of me telling you what I think of it, let me do a little 360 so you can kind of see what you think of it. Like, it's got fun movement. It's an entertaining piece. It's fun. But it definitely has a bit of that stuck a fork in a light socket vibe to it. This piece is 3.6 ounces, so even though it looks like a fluffy cloud of delicious caramel flavored nougat, it is actually a substantial wig. There's actually a fair amount of hair here, but it is just as soft and fluffy as it looks. It's got a really interesting feel to it. It's very soft, like feathers. But it's definitely fluffy, like super floof. It's got a lot of that going on. Anyhow, the front of Wiki, and ignore all of these measurements. I say it with big arms. Ignore these measurements a little bit because it's so heavily crimped, and yes, I say crimped as opposed to curled. I mean, that should be pretty obvious. It's a little bit more of a crimp. It's so crimped that these measurements are basically pointless, but I'm going to rattle them off to you anyway, for fun. And for science reference, I don't know, we'll just do it anyway. 9.5 inches in the front, nowhere near that because of the crimping. Sides are 9, and the nape is 4, so it's quite short in the back. This color, by the way, this Caramel Rooted, is a really pretty color. It's kind of like an ashy blonde, gold blonde, and like a butterscotch blonde had a baby. And I don't know how 3 different things could have a baby together, but they figured it out somehow, because magic. And then the fruiting is a kind of like a medium brown. This wig has lots of permatease going on. So in fact, let me go ahead and take the cap off so I can show you what the cap construction on Wiki looks like. And I'm like, oh, it's like 3.6-ish ounces. That means it's kind of heavy. It's not really heavy. It's still a pretty lightweight wig. It's just that for the texture and how short it is, that's kind of heavy. So part of that reason is all this permatease it's got in the top. It's also got a substantial amount of hair on it. You can tell because how close these wefts are to each other. So there's the open side, open back. We've got an extended felt nape with delicious Velcro tabs. We like those. Velcro ear tabs here. There's no lace front. In fact, there's a generous amount of permatease right at the front. You may have even seen that when I had it on. This is a textbook definition shake and go piece. Like, you don't want to comb it. You don't want to really do much to it, but you don't have to. Like, the texture is what it is, and if you want to revitalize the texture a little bit or preserve it, put a little bit of Simply Styling on it or a little bit of MV Renew Repair, you know, just kind of run it through with your fingers. Don't comb it, for heaven's sake. And then shake it out, put it on. Now it's an Wille wig, so it fits me a little bit on the tight side, but it still feels secure, hence why I can go, hi everybody, I'm Heather. So yeah, there you have it. That's basically all there is to it. It looks pretty much just like the product photos, except I don't look like the model from the product photos, so I sort of look like I'm channeling my inner Carol Kane, or like I should be like an eccentric college professor or something like that. None of these are bad things, by the way. They're all kind of cool. It just depends, like, to me, I could see this being a kind of piece where I would have to be in the mood to be those characters, to be those people, to play that part. And that's kind of the fun of wigs, you know, is that you can kind of reinvent yourself on a daily basis and, you know, be a blonde, be a brunette, be a redhead, be a nerdy eccentric college professor, you know. It is what it is. So I'm Heather, I'm from CysterWigs, and I'm bringing you the Wiki from Wille in the color Caramel Rooted. My web store is CysterWigs.com, otherwise known as CysterWigs, as opposed to CysterWigs, which sounds awful. It's CysterWigs, which sounds gross, but it's still what we call it. And hopefully you will check it out sometime. And until next time, have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.